Brian.
Right.
Women with beards.
He said that.
So what? How can you tell me that beards have fallen out of fashion?
He's obviously never been to a gay bear club.
This is in Russia. Maybe in Russia they don't have beards anymore?
I don't know.
But, I mean...
Every hipster doofus in the U.S. has one. I grew a beard.
They're mostly gay, though.
Well, yeah, we are.
Aren't they? Right. Yeah. So that's... Oh, so that doesn't make any sense. It's not working at all.
Oh, it's not
Plenty
working.
of gay people with beards.
Well, you have one. Have you been gay lately? Well, not since you've had your beard.
Yeah, right. Why do you think I grew
Before then, this is crazy.
I was thinking of shaving tomorrow. Have some fun. I don't know.
Oh, wah, wah, wah. Anyways, that's absolutely ridiculous.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, boy. Let's do the call to police, and then we can go back to the...
Oh, okay, sure.
Because it might get long in that one, so... This should be quick, I think. This is Omaha, Nebraska. So a woman was taking her niece out of her SUV after an outing at the pool.
Okay.
And didn't quite get her out where the wind came and it blew the door shut. I've had that happen. And the keys and the child were inside, right? And the door is locked automatically.
Yep.
So the adults there worked on trying to get the door open with a hanger.
How old was this kid?
About 2.
Okay.
You think they could tell it to... Well, no. I could see Liberty.
No.
They couldn't...
I mean, you could tell them anything you want.
Yeah, you could tell them anything they want. They're just going to look at you. So they were panicked, right? So what do? What are they taught to do? You call the police.
Sure, and you should be able to, right? That's the idea.
Yeah. So the cops
Serve
arrived.
and protect.
They broke the window, and they got the child out, safe and sound, right? Child was a little warm. Paramedics said, she's a little warm. It was 93 degrees, and it was a little warm in the car, but she'd only been there about 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, a car can warm up real fast.
I know,
so
but
it's
still.
Anyway.
They rushed her to the hospital.
Okay.
She's fine.
Good.
But the cops then ticketed the mom on suspicion of child abuse by neglect.
What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Like, we suspect that you might have done something bad, so here's a ticket.
Lieutenant Darcy Tierney, I just love that, Tierney, a police spokeswoman, said the ticket was not an overreaction by the officer who responded to the 911 call. We make decisions in the moment with all the information we have available, and this can be a super dangerous situation. People die in these circumstances.
That's true.
That's true, so it's important.
She means when you call the police.
Yeah, I think so.
People die in those circumstances, right?
Or you get a ticket.
Yeah.
And then, so they did the right thing, and they get punished for it. But the important thing is they got the child out. So anyways, kid's fine. It was windy that day, by the way. I guess it was gusting up to 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like she's lying.
Sure.
And there's probably video at the pool.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
I mean, the moral of the story is, unless you absolutely need to, like to make a report after something happens, don't call the police. I mean, unless you really need to, call a local tow company and say, this is an emergency. They'll probably get there before the police anyway.
The lock service.
If you have AAA, call them and wait the hour and a half for them to show up. Here's what I probably would have done.
Break the window.
Bust the window open and take the kid out.
Right.
And then get the window fixed.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the cost of a window versus your ticket, right? And the kid will be okay. Right. No risk of anybody getting shot.
Yeah. Yeah. And you might even be able to do some insurance fraud and say you were broken into.
I don't know what happened. We left our kid in there. The kid's not in there anymore.
I want to get the I don't want to claim the kid. I just want to get my window fixed.
It's terrible.
Well, the clincher was that after all that, the good lieutenant said, now I want to remind people, don't be afraid to call 911 for help.
Yeah, that's right, because we'll help you. Take your money.
Be there and have your defense attorney there, too. All right. Anything down there?
That's ridiculous.
We can talk about that.
We have like 5 minutes left. So.
Yeah. The recent...
Philando Castile?
Yeah, the recent jury decision, I guess. Was he in a jury? Yeah, I think so.
I assume.
Yeah, the police officer that shot and killed a CPL holder because he thought he was reaching for his gun when he was reaching for, he was saying his wallet, and indications indicate that that's what he was doing. Got found not guilty of I don't know. What was it? It was manslaughter? Or
Geronimo Yanez was the cop.
I think part of the problem it was wrong
second-degree manslaughter and 2 counts of dangerous discharge of a firearm.
Yeah.
That's what he was charged with.
You think he might have gotten convicted of that, maybe, but the discharge.
Well, he's a cop.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is really what it's all about. Now,
Excuse me.
I will say, first of all, the officer was not white. So it may have been racism, but it wasn't a white cop shooting a black guy.
Hispanics can hate blacks just as
right.
much
That's
as
what I'm
anybody
saying.
else.
Exactly. But it's tough when you get into a criminal trial, murder. You have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the person's guilty. Right. And I watched the dash cam footage. It's not fun to watch, by the way.
Which one? Did you see hers too?
I saw hers when it was posted. I was watching it. It was
quite
horrible.
a while ago. Yeah.
But I saw the dash cam footage. They were both pretty terrible. You can't really tell what was happening. Right. Her video starts after the shooting.
Right.
And the dash cam covers everything, but you can't see in the car. You see him saying, "Don't reach for your gun. Don't reach for it. Don't reach." Bam, 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 bam.
Right. And there's all kinds of misinformation out there with people saying this or that, because some people are saying the guy said, "I'm reaching for it. I'm reaching for my gun."
It sounded like he said, "I'm not."
Yeah, it's pretty obvious he said, "I'm not."
Yeah. Now, the gun was still completely
in his pocket,
holstered or whatever.
No, just in a pocket. I don't think it was in a holster.
Not in a holster in the pocket. And no round in the chamber, from what I heard. So,
and as you pointed out, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter, but I don't think he was reaching for it.
Yeah.
The cop thought he did. Jeez.
And his wallet was in his front pocket, and about where he was reaching, and that's where his license was found.
Yeah.
His CPL.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you made a good point, because I said, at some point, why don't you just stop reaching and put your hands up and say, "What do you want me to do?"
Yeah.
But it happened so quickly.
It happened very fast.
And he probably never thought, like, this guy's going to shoot me. He probably thought it's a cop. He's pointing a gun at me because of whatever. But absolutely terrible. Absolutely. So the cop was fired.
Yeah, after he was found not guilty, which is odd.
Yeah, why not before?
Right.
I don't understand that. Unless they were helping him with some of the legal.
He's too hot of a commodity. Well, I'm sure he had insurance through his department and through the city.
And so if they had fired him, he might have lost that or something.
Maybe.
I don't know. Complete speculation, but
I have no idea.
Ugh, it's disgusting.
So I don't know.
So here's the problem. Philando, the guy that was shot, did not have a duty to inform the officer that he was carrying a concealed handgun, but he did.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that.
He did, because people say, "I'm going to tell him because it's respectful."
Right.
It got him killed.
Right.
It got him killed to tell the cop that he had a gun.
And he's not alone. There's other cases where people have had close calls or been yanked out of cars and handcuffed and their guns taken away when they've said, I'm a concealed pistol holder, I've got a gun, and cops just go nuts.
Yeah. In Michigan, you're required, by law, if you have a concealed pistol license, you're required to disclose to the police officer, which puts every one of us in this situation.
Right.
You get pulled over, you're required, and then the cop could be on edge. Yeah. This guy, he was new. He apparently had recently taken some training that teaches you how to kill people.
Lieutenant Grossman, how to use deadly force, and his whole point of his training is don't hesitate.
Yeah.
Shoot, because you're going to get off with you're going to get away with it.
And that's what happened in this case, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and he'd just taken it like a month earlier, so it was fresh.
I wonder if that played a role.
Who knows?
And I wonder, was it department-sponsored training?
No.
Okay.
And that's the article I read about Grossman's training, is he does this a lot. He makes a lot of money doing this. And there's a lot of departments that don't like his training, but they say we can't stop guys from taking their personal training.
The liberal argument is that police are the most trained people in society. I guess that's true in this case too, right? I don't have that training.
No,
he has more training than I do.
You haven't shot anybody recently.
Let's move on.
Well, we can't. There's nothing else. We don't have enough time.
We're pretty much out of time anyway. I don't know. We've got 30 seconds. How are we going to fill 30 seconds?
We can't. We can just talk about dogs barking.
That was terrible. But I wonder what your vehicle looks like.
Yeah, probably really, really wet inside.
Steve went out and said, "Yes, your windows are down," but he didn't put them up. So
yeah, that's not very nice.
No. It's not. He could have opened the doors or something.
Keys are in there. They could have put the windows up for me.
Well.
But
It's not running, is it?
it's running. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. With a sign that says free.
Global warming is a myth.
Well, man-made global warming.
Yeah, just
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Yeah, we're out of time.
All right.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.